Step 1, wake up, really gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Yo, set your affirmations, aspirations. I got shit to do, the aftermath of preparation. Good food, good mood, blood in circulation. One step at a time, yeah, that's how you make it. Set a goal you control and the steps you take them. I try to pick one thought, have some concentration. And if I make a mistake, it's called education. I try to do this every day, call it replication. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 So life ain't easy, yo, I think there's a reason though. Ups and downs, just like every different season, yo. Sometimes I'm high, other times I'm barely breathing, though. I always gotta fight and hide from the demons, yo. Negative thoughts are poison, they rot. Head full of flaws, so here come the clouds. They'll never stop unless I can swap all the bad for the good in my head when I'm lost. Yeah, so I'ma fake it till I make it. Positive thoughts are overtaken, I got patience. One day at a time is how you operate a cadence. A flow, you grow, you show yourself a foundation. Stay away from all the shit that causes temptation. I know that I like to do it cause it's sensation. I live my life in my head like a narration. Don't expect greatness, do my best, man, I'll take it. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.
Wake up, really gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
I'm gonna say this right here, baby, because some of y'all be acting like y'all don't be seeing it. But, baby, playing victim in a situation that you created, oh, yeah, baby, that's narcissistic as hell to me. Hello, somebody, how you gonna create the storm, then get mad when it rain? How you hurt somebody and then get mad that they hurt? How you damage somebody, go outside your way to destroy a person and then get mad when they no longer want to deal with you? Baby, playing a victim in a situation that you created, oh, baby, that's narcissistic as hell to me. I'm sorry, but it is.
I don't enjoy hurting people. I don't enjoy seeing people hurt. I don't enjoy saying things that make people feel bad. That isn't inherent to who I am. But I value truth and love more than making people feel good temporarily. That to me is a bigger issue. And it's simple. Would I want somebody to tell me what I wanted to hear if it wasn't the truth? No. I'd be pissed. That's not my friend. My friend tells me the truth first. That's what I want in my own life. Good friends, tell me that. I'm more concerned if you're afraid to tell people the truth because of what they think of you. Like, what kind of friends do you have?
Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty Coffee Club.
As you wake up in the morning, you want to find the latest, greatest information about criminal cases and have an intuitive conversation about the suspects associated with these cases. Head over to the Bullhorn Betty channel on YouTube. Get breaking news right here on the Bullhorn Betty channel. Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty Coffee Club. Enjoy your stay and enjoy your day.
Good morning, my beautiful people. Is my volume doing well okay? I'm hoping that it is. It probably is doing just fine, but I just thought I'd check. It's nice to see everyone. I know you guys are wondering why I was not on here yesterday. I was doing a mess of research on the Brian Koberger case and this new objection to the state's motion to compel and the new affidavit. And so I went back and I pulled out all the paperworks related to the motion to compel for the third, and I went through the affidavit with a fine-tooth comb and made notes and all this other stuff. And I was getting ready to go live because the day before was a lot for me. Like I had the dental appointment. My sister was coming in. I met with my mom, my sister, and then I ended up going and seeing, see, I turned the volume down, seeing Miss Robin. Miss Robin was singing at church on Wednesday. And I told her I was going to embarrass her. So let me find it. See if I can mute it. There we go. Here she is at church singing. And the crazy thing was, is I didn't realize that her husband was with her too. So I was taking pictures of her up on the stage, and then I look behind her and I see her husband on bass, and I'm like, oh my gosh, he's up there with her. So without telling too much of her business, so she, lives here near me, and we've had an opportunity to go. We've actually done a few things together. We went to a haunted house on Valentine's Day in Polk County. We've eaten at Columbia for their anniversary. I just went there, and you guys know I've known Robin for some time. So I'm a little upset and a little melancholy that she's leaving the state of Florida. So I'm gonna miss her. It's always nice knowing that I have a friend just right there. And so it's been really nice, and so I'm gonna miss her a lot. But it was a lot for me, so I didn't get home until like I want to say it was like 11:30. By the time I got ready and dressed and settled in, it was like 12:30, 1 o'clock in the morning. I was exhausted yesterday. I just was exhausted. That's just all there is to it. And I managed to get some research in, get some work done before Olivia came over. So Olivia and I had a dinner party and a slumber party. She's still in bed, but she's here. She's here at the house right now. So I figured while I'm waiting for her to open her eyes and get the crust out, I would come and say hi, good morning to you guys and go over a couple things with you, even though it's kind of impromptu. So I've been going over also the Rex Heuermann timeline. And I've got to say, I really truly believe on Gilgo Beach, there's more girls out there. Here's why I say that is that area of New York, he worked in as a teenager at that park. He knows all the nooks and crannies of that park. And any other place that he may have worked as a teenager or something to that effect, I have a funny feeling there's people there. In the timeline, it was bringing up a individual by the name of, and I didn't even hear about this case, but I'm not sure if it has anything to do with him or not. It's a Tina Foglia or something like that. And she was last seen at West Islip, New York. And her body was found by crews. And this was 1982 is when all this happened with that Tina girl. And they found her, the Department of Transportation had found her in 1982. And I'm not sure about her. I know it was something in close proximity and probably in and around him, but I'm not sure if he was kind of killing at that time. It's possible, but many people believe that, serial killers have their first kill about 28 and a half, which is a little odd for us because I believe that was almost the exact age of Brian Koberger. And I actually found this out by I don't know if he's a statistician or what, but on Nancy Grace just recently, they were discussing um, the age, the statistical age of a serial killer. Many people believe that serial killers are the ages of 30 to 40, white men. Is statistically true. However, something that I learned that I did not know was that the statistics show that these serial killers actually have their first kill statistically around 28 and a half years old. So anybody that had questioned, whether Brian Koberger is a serial killer or was becoming a serial killer, I believe that the answer is definitely, without a doubt, yes. So good morning, Kitty Cats. It's nice to see you, MJ, Justice Jane. It's nice to see you as well, Tammy, Louise, Lady Seven Up, Angie, Pen 1010, Judita. I hope I'm saying that right. M.E., Medgas Guy. Oh, it's been a while. Nice to see you, love. Blondie, Bronx Jim. It's nice to see you. And Sailor, it's nice to see you. Oh, 7 months. God bless you, Sailor. God bless you. Um, Good morning, Bronx. It's nice to see you. So those are just the updates right now. I know that we've been a little scatterbrained. There's been a lot of stuff going on here personally for me. So I've been working around the clock getting stuff prepared. My deadlines are coming due. Those are so I should have everything completed. We're going to be getting back on schedule on our regular Bullhorn Betty Coffee Club schedule. Start passing it around. We're going to be starting to get back on schedule, do our lives as normal, starting on Monday. But here's the kicker. I am getting out of the house. I'm leaving today, but I'm staying in Florida. Olivia and I are going to go cover a couple cases today here in Florida. And then I'm most likely going to be taking a few days to head to Tennessee just to see what's going on there, potentially. Now, I say that because I'm not sure, one, if my time will afford it. I'm working on right now designing a missing person flyer. I got to get those off to a printing company, and I'm going to find a printing company in Kingsport, Tennessee, to get those flyers printed so her mom can just go and pick them up. I don't have to worry about mailing them or anything like that. We'll just go ahead and design them and get them into into like a, I don't know, FedEx store or Kinko's or whatever is in the area that we can um, potentially get just some flyers. They need something. She's missing. I'm gonna see. I didn't even have an opportunity to check if there's any updates on Layla Santanello's case yet. Let me just see what we got going on here. We just got an update 2 days ago. That's about it. We got one from a day ago. Let me see what this one says. I'll share this with you guys. Well, it just says update attempting to locate missing woman. Update 89. This is for Kingsport Police. Update Layla Santanello was last seen in the vicinity of East Stone Commons Shopping Center in Kingsport, which is 2003 North Eastman Road, at around 12 p.m. on June 27th. Layla was last seen, so I think that government, remember all the newspapers kept saying the 26th. And there was only one report that said the 27th, and it was actually the official government report. So now we're finding out that they obviously knew that they had a sighting of her on the 27th before her family did, because the 27th is in all their reports, but the family's been saying the 26th. So Layla was last seen wearing a white tank top and black leggings and no shoes. If you guys remember, we learned that she was heading over to Five Below to pick up some flip-flops. Kingsport Police and Tennessee Bureau of Investigations are asking any witnesses that might have seen or spoken with Layla to please contact the Kingsport Police Department Criminal Investigation Division. So now it's at a Criminal Investigation Division. This is serious, folks. So anybody that has any information in the Kingsport area, I'm asking you guys to reach out to Kingsport Police or TBI at 1-800-TBI-FINE. This is serious. She has not been heard or seen from in over a month. She's an independent girl, so her mom didn't really think anything of it until it was almost too late. And, of course, then mom screaming from the rooftops that, her daughter's been missing entirely too long for her just to be gone. She went missing when she was 20. She just had her 20th birthday on the 8th, if I'm not mistaken, the date. But I believe it was Saturday the 8th. And she wasn't there for her 21st birthday. So this is not normal. And Her mom, Jennifer, is not getting a whole lot of help. There's not a whole lot of information going to her. There's not a whole lot of internet um, paying attention to this case or advocating for this case. There's just not enough. And it's really, really sad because this mother is begging for help. And there's only very few creators out there discussing her case. And this has got some hallmarks on it where, she's been with a guy for some significant amount of time. A house was raided and searched. She still has not been found. They were looking in that yard, that person's backyard, which is never easy. And she's been seen all the way up until the 27th, and from the 27th, being at that creamery and somebody being kind to Layla and giving her, some nourishment and something to drink. That's it. And that was at the Marble Slab Creamery, I believe, in that plaza that they were talking about. Somebody was nice enough and kind enough to give her something. She was sleeping in the woods. So it's sad. It's sad, but she's missing, and she is. And law enforcement is taking this very, very seriously. As of August 1st, they ended up issuing an endangered persons alert. They got TBI involved, and within 48 hours of getting TBI involved, they're executing a search warrant on a home on Dale Street in connection with Layla's case, and still nothing. They're still lacking leads. They're still lacking information. And more importantly, they're still lacking Layla Santanello. So anybody with any information related to Layla Santanello's case out there in Kingsport, Tennessee, please call your local Tennessee Crime Stoppers, Crime Investigation Division. Again, 423-229-9429 or 423-343-9780. And then, of course, you can reach out or even provide anonymous tips at 1-800-TBI-FIND. Alternatively, if any individual who is able to supply information related to this or any other cases wish not to identify themselves, there is a citizen feedback form that you can also fill out, and it does not allow. It isn't anonymous, and that's I'll throw this into our chat if you guys want to pick this up. This is the link to submit anonymous tips to Kingsport, Tennessee. And they're even saying this case or any other case that has importance or relevance. So God bless Kingsport Police and TBI as they help the Santanello family find answers. I'm not going to have a whole lot of time because this morning we do have Olivia and I are planning on going and doing some projects around here in Florida, and she's going to be getting up here shortly. So once we start getting ready, we got to get on the road. We're trying to fight the heat. It's been getting so hot here in the state of Florida. It's dangerous. It's getting so hot. It's dangerous. Like I went outside and I about died just taking my neighbor a plate of food yesterday. It was hot. And so we're going to be out there in the wilderness working today. So we're trying to get out there early so we can get our work done and get back to the office by this afternoon. So I will most likely be live later this afternoon to tell you guys about my day. It'll probably be about 4 or 5 o'clock-ish. I hope you guys can be here to attend. But before we get too far ahead, I was going to read the language of letting go, but honestly, I just don't have time if I'm going to touch at all on any of this information that we are going through. I'm just going to kind of guide you guys through a few different things quickly. So, you guys know, oops, wrong one. Hold on here. Let me get back to where we guys. Okay, here, I think it's this one. So you guys know that there has been an uphill battle in this whole entire motion to compel. And the biggest fight that we've had in this entire case of the Brian Koberger case is this DNA testing in this IgG information, right? The investigative genetic genealogy. So people, if you hear the sound is awful, it shouldn't be. How's my sound? If I find out that you're lying to me and you think that and you're one of those trolls, I'll kick you out. Laugh at life. Like I'm over the nonsense. So I don't think you are, but to be honest with you, over the last few days and the nonsense going on, I've just been over it. So like I've got a zero tolerance policy for BS today. So are we good? Sounds good. Okay. Keep your eyes and ears open. Okay, just making sure. Yeah, I got new equipment, and everybody's like, "Oh, well, the sound sound the same." I love the sound of the previous. I want to mimic that sound. The difference is I have the ability to turn up. I have the ability to echo my voice. I have the ability to, So it's like I didn't want to change the sound. I didn't want it to be louder or not louder. I just wanted to have more control over the volume because I do speak loud. And and sometimes I speak loud, but the stuff that I'm playing is low. So when it's low, I have a way now to turn the volume up on the screen and screen records and stuff like that. I never wanted to change my sound, and I don't think I really can because no matter what, I sound the same. But I can do this.
Hello, guys. How are you doing? I almost sound like, I don't know.
And then I can talk like this. Like, come on. I think I really need to, go over this declaration of Nancy Taylor in support of defendant's third motion to compel in this voice. I was going to say that, MJ, but, So, we have this declaration from Nancy Taylor, and, I was kind of on the edge about this, but she might have an argument. I don't know. I have no clue, right? So, we have this motion to compel. We then ended up having several affidavits. Affidavit of, where is it? Becca Barlow, Stephen Mercer, and now Leah Larkin. I need an inhaler. Let's try this one.
That's right. How are you? Oh my gosh. Like, this is deep. This is really deep. All right.
All right, we're back here. Okay, there you go. Now you guys had enough fun, right? I might have to go in that kid's voice though, right? I just might have to do it. I wish they had an English person. If they had it set up with an English person, I might do that. But anyways, we're on the third expert related to this investigative genetic genealogy. Like they're really trying very hard to get this DNA thrown out through a back door or try to remove it because this is what they're trying to do. They're trying to basically say that they came across Brian improperly, not in accordance with law, and therefore the DNA is fruit from the poisonous tree. Okay? And so anything that was derived from the fruit from the poisonous tree would then have to be suppressed and removed and not be brought forward to trial. So I can kind of see where she's going down on this avenue with this whole IGG and why she's fighting so hard. Now, if you guys remember, when we were first talking about this, I'm like, look, anything that's related to finding him, to connecting him to a murder is discoverable by the defense. Now, and I believe that the IGG and information would have been discoverable to Nancy Taylor. But I also heard her arguments. I've also read the 3 affidavits, and I also read the state's objection to this and why that they don't need it. And so I see why a judge is going to have to oversee and rule over this matter because both of them have legitimate arguments and legitimate challenges related to the investigative genealogy testing. So first, the defense is basically saying that they used it to identify Brian Koberger, that they really don't care whether his car was identified or he was identified through the investigative genealogy testing. They're trying to challenge that this investigative genealogy testing is flawed and that there are many issues that can arise from the sampling, from the testing. And I think that was kind of put in a nice, pretty package with the Leah Larkin affidavit. Because the other two expert witnesses, which were attorneys, and I find it odd that everybody she's using is from California. And why do I find that fine? Because we know how liberal California is in a lot of their laws. We know how liberal they are in, keeping people on the streets of California. They don't like putting people away in jail where they belong in many cases. And that's just my opinion, my disdain for the legal system and how they do things a lot of the ways in California. I don't. I think that they put a lot of their residents in danger for their policies just to have PC, you know, so that they're politically correct. I think that they put a lot of people's lives in danger, and that's where my problem is. I don't care how California lives. I don't care if they're different than the rest of the country. I really don't care. That's for them. And if people love that's who am I to tell them where to live, what to do, or how to prescribe to life? That's not my place. But I do get it does start bothering me quite a bit when you're injuring people, innocent people that trust you. And I truly believe that the justice system out in California sucks. And I think that their state shows it each and every day. I think that their political system is a cancer on the state, and I think it shows. I think every major, this is over and above what the rest of America is dealing with relations to homeless populations and things of that nature. Um, California has never gotten it right, and I don't know if they ever will. And I feel bad for the people that live in their state and love their state because I hear it's a beautiful state. A lot of people stay there and deal with it. I've talked to people that hate the government in the state of California, but love the environment. They love the Four Seasons. They love the beaches. They love the lifestyle. They absolutely love California lifestyle. But the reason why I find it funny is because they would have all these types of people over in California because California laws are to put a lot of people, they don't want to keep people in jail. We know that. I mean, that is basically what they've stood on for the last couple decades about how they want to keep people out of jail, how they want to, pay for the homeless population. They want to give them a monthly siphon. They want to give them, you know, uh, stuff to use their substances with. They just want, come one, come all to our party state. You don't need a home. We have plenty of sidewalks and places for you to sleep. Just come on here. When you get here to California, we'll start giving you a monthly check. Easy peasy. If you need your little pipe, you need your, needle, we'll take care of that too. So it's not really a law and order state, in my opinion. I could be wrong. Somebody from California says, man, you've got this all wrong. Okay. Okay. Second in the incarceration only to Texas. Well, it's probably, I don't know why they're throwing people out on the streets, but I know they are. I know that without a doubt that there are people that should be behind bars that are not. So you've got an overcrowding population. But what do you think is what do you think in California? What do you think there are laws in California that are creating this need to be the second in incarceration rate only to Texas? What kind of lifestyle are they cultivating there that would why is the rest of the country not dealing with this? It's because of the cartels, because of the open border policies, and that it doubles with Texas. So a lot of the problems that California and Texas are dealing with are not even problems that are created by United States citizens. Anyways, I digress. But I find it funny that California is the area that this Nancy Taylor is picking and plucking all these witnesses from that are, that don't want to see Brian Koberger. They don't care. This is what they don't care. They don't care he killed 4 people. They don't care about that. They don't care about the victims when it comes to this. Now, do I believe Nancy Taylor, um, you know, agrees with her clients? Of course not. I would never stretch, a defense attorney becomes a defense attorney because she's seen clients get railroaded by the state attorney. That's why defense attorneys become defense attorneys. They don't enjoy uh, defending the bad guys, but they have this need to at least give them a fair shake at the system. And it's almost in my opinion, because I've met a lot of defense counsel. I've met a lot of defense counsel. I've met a lot of public defenders, and the main discussion that it is that they know that these people will get railroaded by the state, and they know that they have the ability to at least represent them so they get a fair shake. And that's respectable and that's commendable. So I know a lot of people are like, "Oh, they're just a defense attorney. They just like getting people off." No, it's because most defense attorneys have watched their clients be railroaded, and they will be damned if that's going to ever happen to another person again. You see? And then you now have a purpose. You now have a passion item. Now you are a defense attorney that fights tooth and nail for your client, and then you become what's known as a pit bull, kind of like Ann C. Taylor, right? Because you decide that this is it. You want to make sure that these people's rights are protected. At the end of the day, if they did the crime, they need to pay the price. But at least you can defend them the best that you can until then. So getting back to Leah Larkin, we already went through Marla Bicklow's testimony. I think what it is there was lacking information in both the other experts. So, for example, I think that in Marla Bicklow's affidavit. Here, let me just pull these two out. Is this one? And then Stephen Mercer. It seemed like that they just weren't, they didn't have the nexus. They didn't connect what the issues were. I thought that the affidavit coming from Leah was kind of the cherry on top, if you will. It kind of brought everything in and put it together in a nice, neat package. So she was an investigative genealogy or a genetic genealogist. And she really had some really good expertise when it comes to this whole process of genetic genealogy. And she was retained on July 27th, 2023. And she wrote this affidavit on August 8th, 2023. She has practiced in genetic genealogy since 2014. She has a BS in biology. She has a PhD in botany. And we're going to look at what the criteria of those classes are so we can get an understanding of what her education level is. She states in this affidavit, which I found was pretty interesting, that she has developed tools that are in widespread use. So it sounds like she's a leader in this area. So I'm interested in finding out some more information. And of course, my first question is in this particular affidavit, it doesn't say what tool she developed. It just says that she developed a tool that's widespread use. Okay, what tool did she develop? It also talks about, different types of DNA, from mitochondrial DNA and what is known as what is it, autosomal DNA or something like that. If I'm saying it right, I think it's autosomal DNA. Many and most humans have developed identical genomes in testing. So they're only looking at, and she explains this, they're only looking at genetic and biological DNA that's different from one individual to the next. It also goes on to say that it basically alleges that DNA would have to be so badly degraded for testing if it came from that home. I don't know if you guys caught that. We're going to go over this in more detail later today. But it basically states, they're trying to imply that there's no way that this DNA would have made it properly over to the investigative genealogy databases because it would have been too badly degraded in order to do so. They also state that missing or ambiguous data is inferred. So if they couldn't get enough markers, they have to do inferences. And they said that mathematical inference would be incorrect. And they go on number 10 to list a few. And let me just pull this up. Maybe you guys can see it a little better. This up. My lip just keeps peeling and peeling and peeling. It's driving me absolutely insane. I don't think I pulled that one up. This one here. So, and then this is hers. So we're right here about number 10. And in number 10, it says list a few of the IGG companies that are prohibited. So they're basically saying that there's this GED match that people can use that basically pulls because, My Heritage, Ancestry DNA, 23andMe, according to this affidavit, have their own set of databases. So they don't commingle those databases. So the only way that you're going to have the benefit of all three of those databases is using another service, such as GED Match or Family Tree DNA. And they allow you to take your sample and upload it uh, from the various other sources like Ancestry DNA, 23andMe, and My Heritage. So I don't know if that's where they're getting their information, but apparently there are several Ancestry DNA, Heritage, as well as 23andMe prohibit forensic investigation in genetic genealogy in their database. So they're basically implying that it is possible that law enforcement violated terms of service. Now, I don't know if violating terms of service means the evidence is irrelevant. I don't know if terms of service supersede, something like this. We're getting in all this technology stuff that some of this stuff doesn't have laws to that have been ruled on to to sway one way or another. As these situations come up, laws are being created, but I'm not sure if they have laws that say that evidence, from, you know, criminal rules of evidence or civil rules of evidence or whatever that may be, or, discovery procedure, whatnot. I don't know if that would be enough to get something thrown out of court because they violated an internal policy of a system. I mean, it's an internal policy. There's nothing lawful or legal about it. I mean, I guess there is. We'll see how that's going to work out. But then I'm going to skip down to number 18. This 18 is really a weird statement, and I'm not sure why it was made. I really don't know why the statement was made. So in 18, it says, and it goes into explain what are the odds. We're going to go over this more in detail, but I did want to point these things out. 18, what are the odds? Is not intended to give a definitive answer. Rather, it points to genealogists towards the most likely branch in the tree for further research. The tool is also not appropriate for all circumstances. For example, this is where it gets a little interesting. It's not intended for populations that married within themselves, or double cousins, or when most of the matches are below 40 cms. And I thought that was an odd statement to have in this report. Why would that make a difference? I just thought it was weird. I'm sorry. I just thought it was weird. It didn't bode with the entire report. It was like this one off thing in the statement in this affidavit that just seemed misplaced in my opinion, and I don't know why they bring it up. It also talks about in number 20 the paper trail that they would have had, that the FBI would have had from this, preparation of this family tree. And then lastly, they go through the issues with the IGG report. So, this is another high-powered, high-priced expert for the defense. I just don't think that this is going to work. I really don't. I don't think, based upon what the state is saying, and now that we see the state's response, I see the need as to why Ann C. Taylor is pushing for this information, but I really don't know if she's entitled to it. And I don't know if it really has any relevance to the case other than something that she's just going to try to throw to the wall to find a way to try to get this DNA removed. It's not going to be successful, but she's going to throw everything against the wall and see what sticks. And I think that that's the way it is with this motion, this third motion to compel. She's wanting that information from the investigative genealogy, genetic genealogy testing. I think the FBI is not wanting to turn it over, and they're going to put up as many roadblocks as possible. I don't think that a lot of the information that they once had, they have in their possession. And I think that the FBI does that by design for situations just like this. They're not required to keep it. They're just a resource. They're calling the information is in as a lead. They're a resource. They're investigating it, but they're calling it into the local police as leads to the case. So it's interesting how the arguments are being positioned in this motion, the third motion to compel, but it really is, it's got me scratching my head. Usually when it comes to things like this, I can say, it's really definitively most likely going to be this way or most likely going to be this way. I can't do that here because this is an argument that has teeth on both sides of it. On one hand, the state is saying, look, we're not relying on this information. It didn't bring us to Brian Koberger. It just solidified the fact that we had the right person. And then on the other hand, it was like, well, we have to take your word for it. We want to see the proof in the pudding. So I get both of the arguments. So what is the judge going to say? Personally, I think the buckle swab, the knife sheath, and the car are going to be enough for the state. I don't think they need to bring up the IgG. I don't think that the defense arguing over the IgG is going to it's not going to make the DNA all of a sudden just disappear. Because at the end of the day, they did collect the DNA in accordance with the law. I've looked into it. It appears that they followed everything in collecting that DNA. And when you follow the chain of information, you've got that they had no idea who Brian Koberger was. You've got the moment when Brian Koberger was put on a list because they found a car that matched what they were looking for. From that point on, you see the case coming together and everything starting to point at this Brian Koberger guy. So, yes, they used IgG to help aid in identifying him, but they already had enough identifiable features with the car and his phones that I think that they would have made it there. I don't think it's the fruit from the poisonous tree is what I'm trying to say. I don't think she's going to be able to argue that. So I know we're not on here very long. We've got a busy, busy day today, and I've got to get Olivia up. Olivia! She's up. Do you like me waking you up at 7 o'clock in the morning? Oh. You want to say hi to anybody? No, she doesn't like you guys. She said, no, I'm just joking. I'm just joking. All right. Well, she's getting the crust out of her eyes. I need some coffee. We need to get on the road. We've got a lot of work to try to get done before the end of the day. And I have a funny feeling like at 2 o'clock, her and I are probably going to crash out and go to take a nap. But I have to say, we had steak and sweet potatoes and field peas and snaps yesterday for dinner. I cooked, and I wanted to cook I love grilled steak. I love it on the grill. I love the charcoal seasoning to it. And I get here after going to the store, and I forgot lighter fluid. I had no way to start my charcoal. I tried I tried paper, twisting the paper. My grill lighter, it must have a crack, so all my fluid was gone. I tried filling it up. It would not fill up. So I got to buy another grill lighter. So it wasn't in the cards to have the steak grilled. So I ended up doing it on the stove. They turned out amazing. And it was delicious. We had a great dinner. We watched what did we watch? What did we watch? Oh, Our Father. We watched this movie called Our Father on Netflix. Holy smokes. That was crazy. It was a documentary. Do you guys remember that? I don't know if you guys heard. Where was he? Oh, Indiana. He was from Indiana. There was a doctor that was using his own specimen at his fertility. He was a doctor from a fertility type of clinic, and he was having some of the best success at these women that were coming into him that were looking for donors and trying to do artificial insemination and stuff like that. Holy smokies. Yeah. he was back then. They didn't have the refrigeration issue, right? They didn't have the whole refrigeration issue. Things were handled a lot different, 30, 40 years ago. So you had to have fresh specimens. You couldn't freeze them. They didn't realize that you could freeze the specimens back then. So you had to literally have fresh specimens. Long story short, apparently it was his specimen. There was I think the clock, when did the clock stop counting? Almost 96. I think the when it ended, it had 96 siblings. So he kept telling, well, there's no way it could be used more than 5 times. Then it was 10 times. Then it was 15 times. Then it was 20. And the number kept going up and going up. But here's the issue. He got all these women pregnant using his sperm. Well, at the end of the day, they all lived within 25 miles of each other, the majority of his children. So these kids went to school together. These kids, their brother and sister were their hairdresser. It terrified almost the last one that was on there. This is terrifying for me because not only was that her dad biologically, he also was her gynecologist, doctor, and fertility doctor. He also helped her, his own daughter, with fertility. And this woman was a wreck. These documentary about that case on YouTube. Mac J, no, it's actually on Netflix. It was on Netflix. It's called Our Father. So we watched that, and we watched the Murdaugh. Was it the Murdaugh Mysteries or the Murdaugh Murders and it's a series. It's like a docu-series. And so we got through the first one and halfway through the second one before I'm just like, I'm tired, I'm going to sleep. So anyways, has anybody noticed there's a popcorn shortage? Can somebody tell me something about this popcorn shortage? So I went to the store yesterday to get some dinner. And I knew Olivia was coming over here. I knew we were going to watch some movies and stuff like that. And I went to get popcorn. I couldn't find popcorn. So I had my buggy, filled with the steaks and salad and, just some odds and ends. I got more food. Like I got chicken because I'm making chicken and dumplings because we were talking about chicken and dumplings. Remember that? And I got really, really hungry for some chicken and dumplings. Well, I got a whole chicken, so I'm going to be making some chicken and dumplings. So I got stuff in the fridge, but where was I going with this? And I can't even remember. I went on a tangent too long. And so I call Olivia and I'm like, I'm at the store. I bought all this food. I can't find popcorn. She's like, what do you mean you can't find popcorn? I'm like, I don't know. I can't find popcorn. Dude, can you pick up some popcorn on your way here? She's like, sure, no problem. Well, she ends up stopping by a store for popcorn. No freaking popcorn. Popcorn to dumplings, yes. We are foodies here. Anything that goes in our just pop. We use somewhere, right? Somewhere different.
So, I just wanted to tell you.
You're all a big piece of my heart.
Okay, I need to stop. That's my alter ego, right? Olivia can't hear. She just hears my voice and she's like, what is she doing in there? This chick is just cray. She's just nuts. But yeah, so there's a popcorn shortage. We went to 2 different stores, no popcorn. If anybody can tell me what the heck is going on in the United States and why we do not have boxes of popcorn in our stores, I don't know what to say. I think they're trying to force us into movie theaters. They took the movie theaters out, that whole COVID thing, they ruined our movie theaters across this country. And I think they're like, no, we're going to withhold popcorn from the stores to make you guys go to the movie theaters and get your popcorn. You need to go over there and support the local. And I have to say, you guys need to go out and support your local movie theaters, because you know what? We got them now, but once they're gone forever, guys, right? They're going to be coming up with newer and better places. But it seems like these movie theaters are really struggling this day and age. So, maybe go by there and buy a ticket and get yourself a small popcorn and a small drink just to help those businesses out. Remember, those movie theaters have been, hiring our teenage kids for years. It's been some of their first jobs. They have good points of being here. I know as we are kind of becoming live streams, cable's kind of doing away, mainstream media is doing away. We're kind of having this whole reemergence and conversion over to streaming and internet and all the things that it can do. So, but I enjoy movie theaters. Once in a while, I hadn't been in movie theaters in 10 plus years, but once in a while to go watch one here and there, I do enjoy it. I enjoyed watching Sound of Freedom there. I got to tell you, Oppenheimer sucked, but you know, I still enjoyed the movie theater. So, guys, Olivia's officially up. So that means that's my cue to get the heck off here and start getting ready so we can get out there and start getting work done. And I will be back, like I said, later this afternoon. I'll kind of come here, give you guys a live. We'll go over this stuff more in depth because I'm going to be bringing you guys, we're going to go on this entire motion to compel journey. We're going to go through everything. And we're going to do that later today. And, we're still working on the timeline for LISC. I know I've been promising you we're going to be talking about that and going through it, but I need to understand what the timeline has and understand all the bells and whistles of everything. So I'm well informed and well inform you. So I'm just not quite like I can talk about a few things on the list, but I'm just not prepared to go through the entire timeline with over list. But I think that we really need to because I hope that we have audience out in the area that can be of help and benefit to these cases. I may go live later today in the field, but I have a funny feeling we're going to be on the go, 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 and it's going to make it just next to impossible to boot up a live out in the field today. Either way, I'll have some new content. We'll go over and have some fresh stuff, new stuff to see tomorrow. But we'll see you guys soon, okay? And I'm not going to show you. I might give you guys some sneak peeks this afternoon, but we're going to be going over some cases, and we're going to be taking deep dives in these cases. We're going to start looking at the legality of what they're arguing because here we're listening to what the state says is the law. We're hearing what the defense saying is the law. How can we have two people stating what the law is, but the laws are conflicting? Because they do, and we'll go over that. All right, guys, peace out. I just wanted you to see my smiling faces. Thank you, guys. Big virtual hug to all of you guys out there that have been supporting this channel for some time. I know it's been a little rocky the last few weeks, but you guys understand why, and I still appreciate all the love and support. We are working through it, and we still are managing to even research and get you guys some information and to boot go out there in the field today and get some real work done. So happy to be here, happy to be going out, and we will see each and every one of you soon. God bless you.